everyone, it's Phoenix here with another video who is currently mad at one player that literally just saying I hate. I was gonna crash just to deal game enough damage to press the dock renewal me for some damn reason, and I'm mad about it. And who's also wondering what the heck's my luck on my old Master Duel account, which I just mostly play my Switch, nothing connected. I only went back after like a few months after like I transfer everything over to my Switch essentially for another one, and I don't have it linked to anything else. Apparently, it keeps pretty much pulling gigantic on that account while it's Sprite Elf most of the time on my alt, with not getting a single anything else, which is hilarious. Now let's get straight in the video. If for deck pro. At least this time, I'm actually did it right. Pretty much addition it mostly does stilize it, so you can actually special ed can do teams monster plays with the other Agnes's mostly, but which there's only one being Exorcist Inexter and Yakasha. The first one just allows you to get the extra. Next, only G Golem, which personally I really don't want to decraft because how useful it is for Cyberse decks. Pretty much my normal special from my deck. Special nail set Cyberse, which is okay for most Cyberse deck. And as I hand, add one G Golem card from my deck to my hand. Wedge Kid, which is mostly the extension play that with normal special one Cyberse, so it makes useful cards, especially for G Golem that have a normal or special summon effect. Logic Matter is just pretty much actually move the stuff out most of the time. All power up. Learn Link Slayer is mostly so you go into an easy, possibly having your third monster for to show you the Stars match. It also just a move for spells. Jiggle the Hammer is mostly so you can reduce it and special summon it. Which is just mostly easy. Next on leader is mostly when Link special summon out, so you can easily be an easier protection monster as well if you want it to be. Just mostly so you're nothing can be targeted. Reach Cyberse monster control, destroy with card effect. You can target one Cyberse monster control, negate effects, and do special summon this card from hand, which is easy special summon up for level 4 easily from 1 to 2. So you have your 3 materials for the first thing you actually need to. And this card spent for any field of the grave, you target one face monster control, the target is unaffected. Next up, the standard stuff being Resenite, Mining, bigger ones with 3 ice, Love Fusion for some damn reason. Next on the Grave Bones, which targets 2 your Earth Monster monsters, special on them, and they get negated. If a next on the it's easy card. It's personally probably the best thing for most Earth decks. Personally, you can see this being run a lot, so you probably want to pick up most of the set if you're running a lot of Earth decks or Machina, which oh god, I would hate you right now. Mostly so you have easy access times to go into Link or Xyz if you want. And also, it's the second effect on G guns can destroy. Next only typical gravity shoulder to come back to front, which helps a lot, especially if you still have at least one more copy of this in your deck. You can pretty much actually get your third one out immediately, so you're not wasting something imperm. Next only the rest of the stuff starting 7 rain Earth Golem. G Golem Crystal Heart, which is special on Earth Link, which is pretty poggers, and also Link Links are gain 6 attributes kind of when you special summon the card from Link, and and it also allows you to deal piercing and second battle phase. G Golem is Stone right here, which is special in grave. Each time one Earth monster in your grave that can be normal set special summon it, or add it to your hand. It's also good with Transcode Mind, so you can easily make into Link 6 or go into a cheaper way to go into access to go into everything else you need to. Access code. Choose Golem Ovid, clothing monster controls are affected by monster effects all in your opponent's field. All monsters you control opponent's control has to attack this card, and once per turn, discard someone's Cyberse, draw one card, which is pretty useful, and if this card's card link destroyed, negate all monster effects, and next only the main second name monster is Link 4. All monster must attack this, and once per turn, this card battles opponent's monster for damage step. Send one monster, it loses 200, also negate effects negated. When point activates, the card gets a Link monster. You can negate it, the effect, and if you do destroy the card, it's overall pretty much the most end board. Pretty much end board if you want to, personally, but end your board on this probably is the best thing. And excellently, if you want to possibly go for a game, G Golem is probably the best thing. Now let's get straight into the match. Also, G Golem is also your transcode dogger for the deck, essentially, but better arrows of mind. With the cooling unaffected monsters, pretty much. Personally, I blundered. It's just the Gem Knight Stratton Knight loner deck, which is easy to find out the event, everything. Honestly, and I don't feel like it since most people probably went through the slow event already, and it's just pretty much end of the day material. So let's get straight to match. Okay, now pretty much back to where I started now. Pretty much my hand was godly in a sense though, but it's also a brick in a sense. I drew the second G Golem in my hand. Next suddenly I go into G Golem here. Essentially one G Gravity Balance here. Go into Link 3 being G Golem Crystal Heart. Allows you to get that hand. Next suddenly, since that card's gonna destroy an insurance side, must use Cheryl. The one thing I should have done was utilize this to filter my hand though, but as we can find sometimes it would be worth it. And also I think can be targeted at all, so that helps it. Next suddenly to go into Gen Knight Phantom. Allow to add one to hand. Opponent decided to activate Gen Knight Cortez and decided to call by the Grave It. Next time opponent spend 1,000 to put everything else back in deck to get Brilliant in hand. Which won't matter since they're going to Gen Knight Master Diamond though, but they had the crash here to make it happen though by making a gate. And so far my end board was a little better versus theirs. Next only keeping the second one was probably the best thing, thanks to Call by the Grave as we noticed. I decided to get G Golem back in the field. Attack it then, attack it life points again, but I get piercing damage, so I'm at point lethal. I decided to set my second Call by the Grave. Sadly, pretty much I try to have an AI love in mind. Element activates this inside another Team's Fusion. I decided to Call by the Grave. I'm just top decking everything I need this whole match to go for the game. Also, Gravity Balance with Inhale Layers. Way to end it. But, as we can learn there, I'll still get 2 monsters out, but I'll have a total of 3 in total. Which will give me everything else, including another extender if I felt like it in mind. Now let's get straight into the second match. The next match essentially is a Lorne deck, and I already went over everything we needed to do tier-wise. Now let's get straight to the match. Overall, my hand was pretty good since I had outs to everything and re-extend my board. I'd rate some out of G Golem again to actually get the first one in mind. Monster Reborn here. I could have Link Slayer though, but I have Link Slayer in mind for silent mining if I need to next turn. Get that Link off, get back in the field, put everything else I need back in the grave. Next on deal with the mirror match. Everything else is specific with the Monster Reborn in mind with that combo. Those I'm holding off, so utilizing is the back to the front. I decided to hold off activation so my opponent can't expect it. I decided to activate back to the front here since they don't want to target their own. The monster is negated, and I special on second G Golem easily. Puts number 2 at cost. G Golem comes back now too. Get rid of it. Add Launcher Commander. Launcher Commander just to tribute one of them. Just so I don't have to deal with both of them. That one beats the other one. Do a little bit more damage. And the opponent can't do much here. I decided to put second G crystal. If they actually had everything else to have, it's whatever. Silent mining happens. They try to get everything else back in the field. Decided to go into G Golden Crystal. The only difference is that they did that. I would still basically win there based on the crash of mines. Since mine will be for about roughly a little bit more life points heavier because of it, they should have crashed into it. Would have been at least have a decent chance to work with everything. Next something that's the match piece.